yoga is about those little muscles, but if you don't really know where they are, I mean, what to do with them, you go for the big ones. I mean, because, well, that's, you know,
well,
I do the pose, I kind of imitate whatever it needs to be done, and then
and you go for the big muscles because the little ones aren't taught well enough,
yeah, I mean,
or at all for that matter. And this is a big issue right now in the yoga community because trainings are done. I mean, you can find a yoga teacher training anywhere now, and they're done by anyone. You can get a teacher training online. You can get a 200-hour yoga teacher training online. That is not right. That is not right. This is a 5,000-year-old practice. How could I possibly learn everything there is to know in a teacher training online in a week? It doesn't happen. But the problem, this is the issue, is people open up yoga studios and then they find that they can't make enough on classes alone, on y'all coming in and paying for classes. So then they have to offer a teacher training because they can charge $4,000 or $5,000 a head for 20 people, and that's how they keep the door. And they constantly have a teacher training going on. But the problem with that is the person who's doing the training just got out of their own training. They've only been teaching for a year or two. And the problem is there are no regulations to yoga.
Really?
No. Yoga Alliance is about the only thing, and they do nothing. They do nothing. There are no regulations to it. The only regulation is, and actually, no, that's not it. I was going to say you have to have some form of a training to teach a class, and technically, you don't.
That's what my husband told me. He was like,
You don't.
you don't have to have it in Texas.
No. Yeah, anywhere for that. As far as I know, anywhere. And I could be wrong about that, but it does. You do not have to have a training as long as the owner of the studio is okay with you teaching. That's all that matters. There's no yoga board of directors out there going, no, you have to be able to do this in order to do this. I always advise people, if you're going to go through a teacher training, research how long the person has been teaching themselves, because there's a 200-hour training and a 300-hour training and a 500-hour training. And it sounds nice, but there's nothing, all that necessarily means is they had the money to pay for the training. I've been teaching for 8 years now, and all I have is a 200-hour training. People have been teaching for 1 year and they can get away with a 500-hour training. It does not mean that you know what you're doing. It means you got out of a 200-hour and then went immediately into a 500-hour. It does not mean you know what you're doing. The only way to learn how to teach is to teach. This is why people are hurting themselves in yoga. This is why people are finding that yoga isn't working for them, because they're not getting yoga. They're getting some aerobics class that somebody got from a training out of nowhere.